Welcome to Stoic Origin. Let me hit you with a question that might sting a little. Have you ever met someone who talks big, but lives small? Someone who has opinions on everything, but discipline for nothing? Someone who talks like a man, but thinks like a child? It's weird, right? Because you can look at a man's face and his clothes, his body, his job, his money, and still not really know who he is. But the moment he opens his mouth, everything becomes clear. A man's words reveal the battles he's avoiding, the fears he's hiding, and the character he refuses to build. So, today, Cutie Pie, we're going deeper, much deeper, into 5 things a weak man always says, according to Stoic philosophy, human psychology, and the brutal realities of life. And before we start, ask yourself honestly, which of these do I hear from people around me? And which of these do I secretly say myself? Because if you're courageous enough to confront your own verbal habits, you're already ahead of 90% of people alive today. Let's begin. 1. It's whatever. I can't change anything anyway. Let me break this down with absolute honesty. This sentence is one of the most dangerous mindset killers in existence. A weak man uses "it's whatever" the same way a child hides under a blanket. He pretends he doesn't care, not because he's enlightened, but because he's overwhelmed. This man avoids responsibility by pretending life is out of his hands. He says things like, "It's fine. Man, I'll just deal with whatever happens. It's whatever. Life just sucks. I can't change anything anyway." This is not acceptance. This is emotional surrender. A man who talks like this has quietly given the world permission to shape his life for him. Marcus Aurelius would have looked him straight in the eyes and said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." But the weak man flips it. He gives up his inner power and tries controlling the outside world instead. And here's the painful truth. People who say this phrase are scared of trying because trying exposes them to failure. So they adopt fake indifference. They pretend to not care because caring requires effort. But listen to me. Strong men don't hide behind indifference. They pick up the pieces and rebuild. They don't need certainty, they just need momentum. Weak men wait for permission. Strong men create opportunities. And the day you stop telling yourself, "It's whatever," is the day life stops treating you like you're whatever. 2. People should accept me as I am. This one sounds confident on the surface, but underneath, it's pure insecurity. Weak men love this phrase because it gives them a shield from growth, a shield from accountability, a shield from self-improvement. It's the anthem of someone who refuses to evolve. Let's be real. When someone says, "Accept me as I am," what they're actually saying is, "I refuse to work on myself. I refuse to fix my flaws. I refuse to outgrow my weaknesses. But I want the world to applaud me anyway." It's emotional laziness wrapped in assertiveness. Epictetus would tear this mindset apart. The Stoics believed, you are always becoming something, either better or worse. There is no "as I am." You're either growing or rotting. A strong man says, "Accept my effort, not my excuses. Accept my values, not my ego. Accept my progress, not my stagnation." Weak men want unconditional acceptance. Strong men want unconditional growth. And the ugly truth? People don't reject weak men because they're flawed. People reject them because they refuse to work on those flaws. You don't owe the world perfection, but you owe yourself evolution. 3. It's not my fault. This phrase is the birthplace of mediocrity. When a weak man messes up, he becomes a world-class detective at finding who to blame: his family, his boss, his country, his past, the economy, his ex, his friends, bad luck, the weather, Mercury retrograde, literally anything except himself. Blame is emotional junk food. It tastes good for a moment, but leaves you weaker over time. The Stoics taught, if something is your responsibility, own it completely. If it is not, release it completely. But weak men do neither. They refuse to own it, and they refuse to release it. So they get stuck in a loop of powerlessness. Strong men, however, when something goes wrong, they ask, where did I go wrong? What can I adjust? What is within my control? How do I avoid repeating this? Weak men want sympathy. Strong men want solutions. And you know what's crazy? The moment you accept blame is the moment you gain control, because responsibility isn't a burden, it's a superpower. 4. That's just how life is. Nothing ever works out for me. This one reveals a man who has mentally collapsed. He talks like someone who has already decided he isn't meant for greatness. You'll hear him say, life is rigged. Some people are lucky. I'm not. Good things never happen to me. Why even bother? This is not pain speaking. This is hopelessness. And hopelessness is the heaviest chain a man can carry. Seneca said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. A weak man lets his imagination destroy him. He creates a prison in his own mind, and then convinces himself that escape is impossible. But here's the secret. Most people don't fail because life defeated them. Most people fail because they quit mentally before life even had the chance to test them. Strong men don't wait for life to get easier. They train themselves to get stronger. They expect setbacks. They expect struggle. They expect difficulty. But they push anyway. Weak men ask, why me? Strong men say, try me. Weak men crumble. Strong men adapt. Weak men complain. Strong men endure. Weak men feel cursed. Strong men feel challenged. It's not fate that separates weak from strong. It's mindset. 5. What do I get out of this? This phrase exposes the final and deepest flaw of a weak man: selfishness. Weak men view the world like a vending machine. If there's no reward, no benefit, no payoff, they disappear. Friendship? What do I get out of it? Loyalty? What's in it for me? Helping someone? What's the benefit? But Marcus Aurelius said, what harms the hive harms the bee. Meaning, if you live only for yourself, you eventually destroy yourself. Weak men chase instant gratification. Strong men chase meaningful contribution. Weak men ask, what will I gain? Strong men ask, who will I become? Weak men want profit. Strong men want purpose. And here's the twist of life. The more a man focuses on what he can get, the less he ends up with. But the man who focuses on what he can give ends up receiving more than he ever expected. Not because the world rewards him, but because he becomes someone worthy of reward. The deeper truth: weakness shows first in speech. Cutie pie. Let me tell you something powerful. Weak men don't fall because of one bad decision. Weak men fall because of the stories they repeat to themselves every day. Every weak phrase is a brick in the wall that locks them inside their own limitations. A man becomes weak long before his life collapses. He becomes weak the moment his words lose strength. Because speech is not just sound. It is identity made audible. When a man says, "It's whatever," he abandons responsibility. When he says, "Accept me as I am," he abandons growth. When he says, "It's not my fault," he abandons power. When he says, "Life never works for me," he abandons hope. When he says, What do I get? He abandons virtue. Your words shape your world. The moment your speech rises, your character rises. Transformation begins with a single choice. If you've used any of these phrases, don't feel ashamed. Feel awake. Awareness is the first step of transformation. You're not weak because you said these things. You become weak only if you continue saying them after you've recognized the truth. And the fact that you're here, listening, learning, reflecting, shows that your mind is already shifting. You're not the man who quit. You're the man who searched for guidance. You're not the man who blames. You're the man who examines himself. You're not the man who hides behind excuses. You're the man who wants clarity. You're on the path the Stoics walked. The path of strength, resilience, discipline, and emotional mastery. Before we close, here's something to sit with. What would your life look like if you eliminated these 5 phrases for the next 30 days? How different would your mindset be? Your discipline? Your confidence? Your relationships? Your peace? Change your language, and your destiny will follow. Now, if this message hit your heart even a little, do one thing for me. Not for the algorithm, not for numbers, but for this mission. Like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Stoic Origin. Together, we are building a generation of men who don't speak weakness, but speak strength into existence. I'll see you in the next video. Stay disciplined, stay grounded, stay unshakable, stay stoic.